Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to some more StarCraft 2. Now what I've got for you today is a couple more games from the ProBots tournament. In case you're unfamiliar, the ProBots tournament is an AI versus AI event where, well, the participants, they aren't pro gamers. Instead, they are man-made artificial intelligences going up against each other. And what we found out a couple weeks ago is that their strategies are unconventional to say the least. Really? We're gonna go for a probe rush. Okay. So spawning right here in the bottom right-hand corner, in game number 1, playing with the red Protoss pieces, we're looking inside of the main base of Zozo. The opponent in the opposite corner, likewise also playing Protoss. With the blue pieces, we're looking at none other than Osavibot's main Nexus. A probe rush is generally not considered to be a particularly great strategy. Now, we found out that the bots are pretty bad at some stuff, but they're amazing at things that, well, have, I guess, a lot of APM requirements, right? These bots, they're not limited by human hands, and instead, yeah, they're gonna be able to pull off some ridiculous micro. Immediately, right from the start, we're at 11,000 APM, 11,000 actions per minute, reasonable. Good luck trying to do that with your hands on a keyboard. Anyways, I would imagine that a probe rush is a horrible strategy overall, though. Let me open up the workers loss tab. Yeah, the thing is, by the time you get towards the other side of the map, the opponent obviously has been making workers since the start of the game, so they will just simply have some more. Okay, it's actually starting to turn around a little bit right here for Zozo, yeah? If he can get one more, this is actually really good. Yeah, there we go, okay. You know what, that worked out way better. Apparently he's smelling blood though. That being said, yeah, Zealot right now is available. So I don't believe that, yeah, this is gonna go on for much longer. Zozo is gonna have to make the walk of shame all the way back home. If we're gonna recall, I think we probably should have done that a little bit later. So in the end, yeah, 4 workers killed, 5 workers killed. Both players have taken quite a bit of damage. In the end, I guess we really just end up in a situation where the first minute or so of the game was irrelevant, and we're kind of back to like the early Wings of Liberty days where both players have started with 6 workers, right? Both of the players have just successfully slowed down the game. Well, it does give me a little bit of time to talk about this particular event. So, that previous video I uploaded a couple of weeks ago from the ProBots tournament, it is one of my best performing videos this year. And I was honestly very curious. I really wasn't sure what to expect. But I was honestly very curious how many people would be interested in watching a game like this. And it turns out a lot of you were very excited to see the crazy strategies that we saw in that Terran versus Terran. So the tournament organizer of ProBots, Draken, was nice enough to select 3 replays for me to go ahead and cast. So in this video here today, I am gonna cast 2 games of AI going up against AI. And then the final game for today, so make sure you stick around for that one. The final game for today is gonna be a Grandmaster player going up against one of the AIs. Now, from what I understand, the league that these bots are in should be right around Diamond or so? But like I said, they are amazing at some stuff. Like the micro is pretty absurd, or at the very least the technical ability to micro is pretty absurd. Some of the micro moves we've seen may not be entirely optimal, but turns out when you have infinite amounts of APM, you can get a lot of value as well. But at the same time, strategically and, you know, like for example putting 4 workers on idle, I don't think that is quite what we're looking for. Anyhow, in case you want to watch some more ProBots, I'll go ahead and post a link to their YouTube channel down below in the description of this video. And as always, just let me know down below in the comment section as well if you would like to see more. Because, I mean, I would not be against this at all. It's very different, though, from the professional games. I'm curious to see, though, what's gonna happen right now, because when you look at the supply count, the game is basically dead even. Both players here decide to go for a robotics facility opener. Yeah, Robo Bay over, or Robo Facility rather, over here for Zozo, and the same can be said right here for Osavi as well. Supply-wise, I mean, things aren't that great at the minute, but that's also because Zozo here really needs to spend his money. There we go. We do start up a Prism into... Oh no, we're queuing units? Oh no, well that is a proper Diamond League move right there. Sorry for any of the Diamond League players watching this, but queuing up your stuff over here, not ideal. One thing that I do appreciate, I don't know if it's great, but I do appreciate it, this aesthetic building over here. 4 pylons, all on top of each other with the structures right next to it. If I were to be critical, I would like to see the cybernetics core, you know, change position right here with the gateway just to make it a little bit more artistic, but Apparently, Zozo does not care, as he's once again ready to pull the trigger and go for an attack. Now, by the time this time around that he gets across the map, there will be an Immortal out. Yeah, there's already an Immortal out, and the second one is about halfway done. Stalkers, believe it or not, are not a great counter to Immortals, but maybe the Prism can provide some value here. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The splits right here on these Stalkers are pretty absurd, but please don't go up towards that high ground. Oh god. As soon as the Immortal joins in, yeah, the Immortals are sleeping on the job for now, but if these Immortals decide to join in, which I do right now, they will absolutely tear these Stalkers apart. Excellent control right here by Osavi. Even though the Prism micro here looks very flashy, it's not particularly efficient. You should really just leave, man. Just get out of here. If you lose the Prism, that's basically game over, although instead Zozo has decided... Oh god. The Prism is trying to decide if it should protect the Stalkers or the Immortals over here, or I guess the Immortal and the Stalker, and I guess it just kind of got caught in the middle. Ended up helping out nothing. Osabi just going straight across the map, bringing a probe as well. So... I guess we're not gonna be making a War Prism here. Maybe Osabi Bolt has not been coded to... Look at the dancing right here on that Immortal as well. I guess Osabi Bolt has not been coded to bring Prisms. Oh, I thought we were gonna go for a proxy pylon. Instead, the probe is gonna be going back home. No! Now it's gonna go back across the map? I don't understand some of the decision-making that goes on here. Like, I understand that it's incredibly difficult to write an AI like this, right? But why did the probe decide to go out and then go back and now go back out again? Like, how does an AI get indecisive about these sorts of things? Maybe he saw the additional Immortals showing up and he's like, you know what, maybe this isn't the ideal move. But like I was trying to point out earlier, these Immortals here in blue are absolutely tearing Zozo a new one here. Look at this. Yeah, no, they will kill Immortals too. Technically speaking, the Prism Micro could be phenomenal, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. Okay, Proxy Pylon has come up. We're gonna go for some additional reinforcements here. It's gonna take forever for those units to warp in. But I believe that this is gonna be basically the end of game number 1. I mean, once again, the probes are pulled away from their mineral lines. This seems to be Zozo's secret weapon, trying to make sure that the opponent gets shut down with those workers. But when you're only at 3 workers going up against somebody with 22, I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult to get back into the swing of things. But you know what? He does stabilize. Now, one thing we did also learn in the previous game is that AIs don't seem to GG out. Because, I mean, technically speaking, there's always a chance right here that Zozo can still win. Say, for example, Osavi Bot disconnects, or he glitches out, or he stops doing anything reasonable. Alright, we're gonna go for one final attack right here. Zozo, ready to lead the charge once again with a Stalker. He did get rid of the opponent's Immortals, so that's kind of nice. Losing 4, however, of his own in the process. Osavi Bot seems a little bit more sophisticated overall, right? Like, having a variety of units and bringing a Sentry, for example, in the mix as well is quite nice. That being said, like a Diamond League player, not using Chrono Boost. Again, sorry to the Diamond League players, but let's be honest, you guys don't use your Chrono Boost very efficiently, okay? Don't lie to me! Don't lie to me! I've watched many Diamond League games over the years. Probably more than you have, even though you may be... Yeah, it's a lot. You know what? If he wins this game, I'm gonna lose my mind. If Zozo wins this game... He's remaking workers, he's certainly trying. Nah, there's no way. He would suddenly have to become a god at controlling those Immortals. I mean, he's trying. Very inefficiently so, but he's trying. We do not give participation trophies in a game of StarCraft 2, though. Trying does not get you very far. Alright, I think that is going to be pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the game to ×4. Because, as we've learned, the AI does not actually GG out, but I really don't see a way out of this anymore here for Zozo. He's once again gonna pull the probes, because of course he does. But at this point, the army right here for Osavi is much too big. And he should have a relatively easy time clearing off all of these structures. And I guess maybe the bot's developer, maybe he decided to manually GG out there. Alright, game number 2. Greetings, my rudimentary database is telling me that I've won 100% of our encounters. Prepare to get crushed. Alright, spawning right here in the top left-hand corner, we're having a look at Micro Machine's main command center, who's already started off with a little bit of trash talk. I appreciate it. In the opposite corner with the blue pieces, we're looking at Octopus's V3, his main base. Okay, hold up. Proxy Cyclone 00, early expend 1 to 0. Ah, I think these are the different builds that Micro Machine executes. And apparently he's won with his early expend build 1 out of, well, 1 encounters. So, because of that, he is feeling very confident that that is the best strategy to go for. Fast Planetary Fortress? I would have liked to see that one. Sounds like a horrible strategy, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, Octopus had to first off figure out what game he's actually playing. Tag StarCraft. Chosen strategy, early expand. Okay. Anyways, as long as Octopus realizes that he's playing StarCraft, I mean, that's an important part. But so far, at the very least from the early game chatter, I do believe that Micro Machine is the clear favorite going into this one. Right? Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, as we wait for this game to get started, I think this is a perfect moment to point out that you can, well, be part of the Discord community. In case you're unfamiliar, the Discord server is an awesome place to hang out with a lot of other StarCraft people. Chilling with my army value. 0 versus 0. Fit -0 versus -0. Fantastic, Octopus. Octopus also not affected by the trash talk, apparently. Decides to give a little bit of his own flavor there. Anyways, in case you want to join, it's discord.gg/LowkoTV. There's a link down below in the description of this video as well. A lot of StarCraft people hanging out over there, but also loads of other games. Highly recommend it, and it's an easy way to stay up to date with everything that I do. Not just right here on YouTube, but also with, for example, when I go live on Twitch. Anyhow, Command Center coming up here for Micro Machine. So this is the early expend build. It's such an amazing build that we're, yeah, just gonna make a single Reaper. Oh, he's actually scouting for cheese. That's interesting to me. So I don't know exactly how much, like, you need to code for each individual map as well, right? So this is clearly somebody who's been cheesed before, or something that has been cheesed before. And he's actually looking for different proxy locations right here from Octopus. Now, there is an Adept out. It's going to be a Stargate opener here with a quick Nexus on the low ground. This looks like a relatively normal game here. It's the most try-hard Reaper micro I've ever seen. Not even Beyond goes that hard. Anyways, Factory right now coming up on the back of this too. Really? No way. So technically this is a thing. Yes. I have not considered this ever. We found out years and years and years ago. What? Okay. That units in StarCraft 2 move incredibly quickly through bunkers. And I remember watching videos of people that have like a bunker, into a bunker, into a bunker, into a bunker. And they figured out a way that if you hold down a hotkey, you can effectively teleport a unit from one side of a row of bunkers towards the other side really rapidly, much faster than a unit could actually walk. I had not considered that with infinite APM you could technically do this for your gas geyser. So how many workers are actually mining gas here? I think it's 4. I think there are 2 in the gases at any moment and then 2 that are coming in here. So yeah, Terran players, it's time to step up your game. Turns out you can saturate a group of refineries with I think 4 SCVs, but it might be 5. It might also be 3. I honestly don't know. This is absurd. The funny thing here is that Octopus apparently... Can I actually switch to the AI's point of view? Okay, yeah, this is... Wait. No, I don't think that works. Okay, so this is technically the AI's point of view. But there's clearly a lot more going on here than what is showing up right over here in the bottom right-hand corner. I figured that it would be flashing all over the place, but that's not quite the case. Anyways, that is a very quick fleet beacon. We have ourselves a Void Ray start as well into a Oracle that does not get rallied. Okay. Yeah, if Terran is ever at a point where there are OP strategies detected, panic mode activated, planning on harassing with air units, that's my strategy. Anyways, if there's ever a moment in StarCraft 2's history, which honestly has never happened yet, okay? Not for a very long time anyways. But if at some point Terran players are no longer winning premier tournaments, kind of like Protoss hasn't won a premier tournament in StarCraft 2 currently in a while, just remind them of this, okay? Just tell them to step up their game and get a little bit better. I think this is a very reasonable request. Anyhow, here comes the Terran army. What? That mule was pulled real early, wasn't it? So, technically speaking, a mule can expire while it's holding... Oh, I guess not. Now, a mule has a set amount of trips that it can do, and sometimes it expires on the return trip, and those minerals disappear. So, oh my god, we're doing the same thing over here. That is so funny. I like everything about this. That's amazing. Anyways, big push coming in right here for the Terran player, and at this point, I mean, we have a star... No! What are you doing? Okay, well, that thing just faded out of existence all of a sudden. This is a... yeah, micro machine. I guess that's a reasonable thing to call it. He is dealing a bunch of friendly fire to his own Marines right there, which might not be ideal, but I've got a feeling that losing your third Nexus is less ideal than losing a couple Marines here and there. Yeah, he's taking splash damage to himself. Okay, well, a Stasis Ward at the very least got some work done. Where's that Oracle? Oh, it's just hanging out over here. I figured it would go across the map to try and get some damage done. Third command center started up. We have a missile turret as well. Those missile turrets are not positioned that cleanly. I don't think that's the ideal spot to deal with air units like that, but I mean, this might just be too many units right here. Micro Machine coming in with... I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. In that previous game of AI versus AI, we saw like Mass Cyclone and Banshee and all that, but obviously Marines are the best unit. Like, think about it. If you can micro a unit to perfection in StarCraft 2, what would be the very best unit in the game? Like, if APM wasn't a limitation. Like, why are carriers normally good? It's because they don't require micro, right? Very little anyways. It's why they are a favorite unit for many players. They are like the core of your army, and it doesn't really require a lot. Cancel offensive, minus 25.97%. 29 ally supply versus 21 enemy supply, okay. Attacking with army value, retreating, attacking, retreating, chilling, attacking with army value. Okay, eventually the carriers do get, well, some value in here, and they push back that Terran bio army, but this is looking pretty rough right now for Octopus. Reaper, by the way, still scouting around. I love that. Technically speaking, there's no reason not to be scouting at any point in StarCraft 2, but apparently Octopus has decided that he is going to attack right now. Relaunch offensive, oh god. Micro Machine doing the same thing. The problem is that Octopus has only seen a small chunk of the opponent's army. Okay, he immediately retreats right now. Okay, fair. Retreats? Retreats. He retreats. We have ourselves a fusion core on the back of this, together with a factory. I feel like Mass Marine is a crazy good strategy, though. Am I mistaken? Like, what would be the best unit? If you had infinite APM and perfect micro, what would be the best unit? I would imagine it's the Marine, no? There's no unit that even comes close. Maybe the Stalker? Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking mostly because of flying units as well, right? So, like... obviously, Zorklings are amazing, Banelings are really good, Queens are amazing, but slow off creep. I mean, they're probably the best well-rounded units in the game, the Stalker and the Marine. Anyways, I've got a feeling that Micro Machine just has an overwhelming amount of stuff, assuming he can actually deal with the carriers. Oh, that's why he's making the Vikings. Oh, in his mind, the Vikings are the proper counter right here to those carriers. Honestly, he could have... yeah, he's going any unit right now that can shoot up. That's funny. I don't think he really needed to do that. He could just stick around on, well, more Marines. I think more Marines and just killing the Interceptors would be an excellent choice. Although I don't know if the AI can properly kill the Interceptors. I feel like the Interceptors are not the target. Yeah, I don't know if I'm mistaken. I think I am mistaken, actually. I was gonna say, I think the Marines are really keen to actually shoot at the carriers themselves, but what they should do is just use Stimpak and just gun down all of the Interceptors and then go after the carriers. But that does not seem to be what it's doing. So I guess Vikings are a little bit better when it comes to picking off the carriers directly. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think that may be the reason why we see that massive Viking starport transition. Even though I don't think it was necessarily the best choice. Another thing. Ooh. That isn't the best choice. is going for the +1 armor upgrade. I'm pretty sure the armory was done for +2. You shall not pass. Alright. You shall not! Okay, sorry. My best Gandalf impression. Oh my god. This is attack commands right over here. Yeah, these are, I think, move commands or attack commands given repeatedly in the same spot, basically, over and over and over again. So we have a battlecruiser transition coming up while at the same time going for additional barracks. I think this is Micro Machine just trying his very best to drop supply. But I think we have once again arrived at the point where one of the two players is at a very clear advantage. I mean, we can micro our heart out, man. It almost feels like bad manners when you micro this hard against somebody who has nothing. But yeah, Micro Machine is going to be the winner in game number 2. Alright, so our final game for today, it's taking place on a map called Blackburn. My name is -0, nice to meet you, puny human. Worker rush, cannon rush, and contain rush defenses have been disabled. I will destroy you. Alright, so spotting right here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Fu. And the opponent, right here in the bottom right, a Grandmaster League Protoss, who goes by the name of Holy Hit. Alrighty, I'm excited for this one. I'm sure that many of you are familiar as well with Holy Hit's Twitch stream. In case you're unfamiliar, I'll go ahead and post a link to it down below in the description of this video. Either way, I think this is from a season that took place a little while ago. It's been a bit since I've actually seen this map. Looking at it some more, I kind of miss it. Yeah, I'm actually so ready for some new StarCraft maps. Don't get me wrong, the current map pool in StarCraft 2 is by no means bad. They're really good maps, but as somebody who casts and plays a good chunk of StarCraft, it certainly is a lot of fun whenever there's a fresh new map pool. And I guess in this particular case, we're also gonna get a new multiplayer balance patch, right? At the very least, that seems to be on the horizon. I'm excited for that one. Of course, I'll make sure to upload videos whenever those new maps go live and whenever we get the final version as well of the map pool, so... or of the StarCraft 2 balance patch, rather. So if you aren't subscribed already, make sure you do so you get notified as soon as those videos go up. Anyways, we're gonna end apparently with a Protoss versus Protoss, just like we started. Although apparently Fu has not decided to go for a worker rush. Okay, that was a little bit cheeky. So it did say specifically that worker rush, cannon rush, and contain rush have been disabled. Do you think that that is because worker rush, cannon rush, and contain rush are considered to be too weak or too strong? I'm honestly not sure. I honestly don't know. It does seem a little bit funny to me. I mean, I can't imagine that the cannon rush is too good. I also can't imagine that a contain rush is too good. But maybe a worker rush, again with infinite APM, could technically win games against... well, even professional gamers. But even then, I honestly don't think so. It just depends on the size of the map, right? Like, by the time that the opponent arrives with their workers, you should have at least one, maybe two more. Which is massive. Holy Hit right here, blocking the opponent's expansion. We do have that probe right here from our robot going around the map. Trying its very best to maybe hide something here. Although, we've got ourselves the robo facility inside of the main base. And... okay. Eventually, this pylon does get cancelled. So what are we gonna do? How is Holy Hit going to approach this? I'm trying to think of, like, how would I approach playing against an AI? And in my mind, right, the StarCraft community, the pro gamers, and everybody that has ever played this game, collectively, we have, like, a hive mind worth of information, right? So, strategies and build orders have been optimized over the years to what is considered to be quote-unquote the best. Now obviously, this is always a game with limited amounts of information. It's very difficult to actually figure out what the best stuff is, but there's no denying that pro gamers have tried many different things, and over the years they have found what works most of the time. So I think playing a very normal, a very 2023-esque, although maybe this game was played, I don't know, late 2022? I have no idea. Anyways, I can imagine playing a very normal-ish strategy is a great idea. The Stalker may very well go down if it's going through the slow zone, although I think it'll make... no, it will not make it out. Okay, so Prism coming up here for Holy Hit. Needs to be very careful. full wall in, by the way, right now as well. So I guess that is just to make sure that we do not get any units slipped into the main base. But yeah, the Stalker count at this point is heavy. This is actually a thing that seems to be the case for most of the AI. They focus on like quality of units rather than quantity. This is actually a common mistake that I see all the time for people that first start playing StarCraft, where they think the Immortal counters the Stalker, therefore I should only ever be making Immortals when the opponent has Stalkers. Where, in reality, in a game of StarCraft 2, it's not like Age of Empires, you know, where like a Man-at-Arms absolutely destroys archers. Oftentimes more stuff beats less stuff. So, we have the Prism coming in. I mean, the Immortals are being microed back nicely, to be honest, but we don't have enough stuff here for the player in blue, I don't think. Although the reinforcements are going to help out quite a bit. I would love to see another unit started up right here in the Robo facility. Okay, so, yeah, Holy Hit really focused here on target firing down those Immortals. And now finally, oh no, we have a queue up again. Now finally, the Robo facility is going to start producing some stuff. Alright, Holy Hit decides to get on out of there. And you know what? That was definitely better for Fu. I don't think that was ideal, going that deep into the opponent's main base right there, only to snipe the Immortals and then have the Stalkers of the AI just shoot away at your units freely for that long. That was incredibly rough. Keep in mind that this is, yeah, it's kind of tricky right here, to expand. So he can definitely make an expansion on the back of this, but I think if anybody's gonna expand, it should probably be Fu. Fu right now, unless he feel... Oh, second Robo? Okay, well that's okay, well maybe. A Robo Bay coming up here as well for Holy Hit right now. The second Robo I don't really like. I think that should have been a Nexus, but fair enough. Maybe Fu can smell blood in the water at this point. Adept over here to provide high ground vision for those Stalkers in blue, but not going to happen. Where are the Immortals? Okay, there's one of them available right now. The second one's gonna come up. There's really no way that Fu is going to be able to afford producing out of the double Robo here. But maybe because he stacked up so many resources there for quite a while, and he queued up 2 of those Immortals in one of the Robo facilities, the AI figured, you know what, maybe I should just get a second one. But yeah, now we're at that awkward point where we can't really produce out of either. Which is really suboptimal, to say the least. Anyways, Stalker drop inside of the main base. Holy Hit going after the economy. I like that a lot. I think it's an excellent choice. At the same time, we do have some aggression over here as well. Disruptor now pops out. I can imagine Disruptors are kind of bad units against an AI. Like, Disruptors are some of those units that can technically get big hits in, but most of the time, in a game between humans, it happens because one of the players, well, got limited by their APM, or they had too much going on and they just didn't see. I feel like it's gonna be very hard for a Purification Nova to connect with these units, but... maybe I'm mistaken. The AI is, yeah, at a little bit more APM there. God, 28,000. I guess Fu is the highest rated AI, right? I wouldn't be surprised. These are relatively normal looking strategies, though. Right here from Fu. Disruptor here once again trying to get some damage in, but not really happening. Okay, Immortal there does fall. And in the end, this game is actually... relatively even. The main problem right now for Holy Hit is that he does not have an expansion. And not having an expansion here certainly does make things a little bit trickier. So instead what we're gonna do, I think we're just gonna try and go for an all-in. Look at that scouting! Fu actually going for an Adept Scout right there. Saw the units getting warped in, and actually is keeping tabs right here of the opponent's army movement. That is actually impressive. Very cool. Alright, this is do or die right now for Holy Hit. There's no shield batteries here. Yeah, there's a shield battery in the main base, but nothing on the low ground. Maybe the AI is feeling that confident. My god. Sorry, I gotta back up. Did you see that split? When those Protoss units in blue decided to walk back up the ramp. Look at that. It's like the waves, dude. The waves of the ocean. Going to town. Okay, Disruptor still getting a hit in because, well, the Immortal isn't fast enough. That's so funny. All of these attack moves right next to each other. Going north of 50,000. There it is. 50,000 actions per minute. We even touched the 60k there. Maybe we've gone harder than that even too. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason though why we didn't... Oh my god, that's beautiful. Whoa, that's hot. Sorry. Got a little too excited there, but... Woo! It really does look like the ocean. Does the ocean just have unlimited APM too? Maybe thinking of the ocean as a single entity is a bad idea. Maybe thinking of an AI as a single entity is a bad idea too, guys. I feel like we're getting to some philosophical questions now. Maybe a little too far for this particular video, but that really was awesome. One of the sickest things I've seen in a game of StarCraft. Ah, there it is again. Sorry. I'm getting very excited over rally commands. Look at them. This is the war ritual right here for Fu. They do a little bit of dancing before they're ready to go in for the kill. Although he needs to be careful though. I mean, Purification Novas are always dangerous, right? It's just that I feel like for Holy Hit, getting the Holy Hit is gonna be very hard. Okay. Shade over here getting a bit of work done. Trying its very best to just provide vision of that opponent's army. Trying to also create a little bit of space here for that Nexus to get sniped. Oh. Yeah. I mean, the Disruptors are making the opponent's army move away, right? So even though they're not necessarily connecting, they're still very annoying to play against. Third base, by the way, coming up here as well for Fu, which I like a lot. Glaive, what are these upgrades? Sorry, I'm gonna keep my camera here on the army, but these 3 upgrades right here that are next to each other on the production tab, I wouldn't go for any of them. I think all of them suck. I mean, they're right in the right place, don't get me wrong, but do we have a Tempest transition coming up? I guess that's the plan. Interesting. Yeah, Tempest together with Glaive to Depths. Your standard mid-game approach in Protoss versus Protoss. Wow. Sorry, I don't know why I find this so cool, but that is genuinely one of the coolest things I've seen. Suddenly these units, they behave like individuals, right? StarCraft units in a game never behave like individuals, normally. They're always part of a gang, right? They kind of behave like ants, I suppose. Where, like, technically they're individuals, I guess, but realistically, not really. Okay. Nice little hit right there on the economy. Holy Hit only at 23 workers, though. Fu still at a lot more. Ooh, yeah, no. I don't know if you want to walk into this, man. Maybe? Maybe. Alright, how the Tempest coming along? Yeah, we have one right now. Holy Hit has seen it. There's that upgrade finishing up. The Tectonic Destabilizers? I think that's it. Sorry, I just wanted to flex my caster knowledge. It's a ability that allows your Tempest to deal more damage to structures. That's, you know, good, maybe? Not sure. Anyway. +2 coming up. Together with a second... Oh! +2 coming up together with a second Tempest. Adepts have shaded in. So these are shades with glaives. Yeah, these actually do kill stuff real fast now. So the Glaive to Depths, normally not something you see, well, honestly, in general in this matchup. Okay, well, that was a little bit suboptimal. We do have a Disruptor drop here trying to get some work done. And it looks like actually Holy Hit may have gotten a lot more workers there than I realized. Did I just miss some really big Disruptor hits? Sorry, I guess I'll back up for a little bit. I kind of didn't think about that all too much because I figured it wasn't going to get too much work in. Especially since there is a Tempest out in the air and all that. So at this point we're sitting at 34. Yeah, I guess there have been a lot of workers that have already gone down. I must have missed a couple detonations. Yeah, I must have missed a couple detonations. That is my bad. But this game looks as good as over to me, but maybe it's not. Alright. Going back to regular game speed. Getting all those worker kills is actually massive, though. Because the problem here is now for our player here in blue, or our AI right here in blue, that his economy is really not as big as it once was. I guess the main problem right now for Holy Hit, and maybe the Tempest transition wasn't that silly after all, is that he's got nothing. He's got nothing to deal with the Tempest. So if you, yeah. I mean, the Stalkers obviously can be in range, but these Tempests are micro to the absolute edge of the base. It's gonna be really hard. Yeah. That's another unit that can technically get a lot more value with infinite actions per minute. The Tempest, not usually something that's used like that. Alright, is he gonna go up the high ground? I mean, the Disruptors here can certainly pack a punch. If Holy Hit, after killing all those workers, can get a big detonation from those Disruptor Novas on the ramp for... Oh, you see that? They were even turning. Beautiful. Anyways, there's still a chance. Tempest currently going to town. Okay. Holy Hit starting to hunt down some of those Immortals, getting quite a few of the units. Nice little bit of micro right there by Fu. Blink coming up right now. I figured we already had that, but apparently we don't. Yeah, the problem here is that those probes have been absolutely murdered. The mid-game Glaive to Depth transition is now forcing the all-in right here coming out of Holy Hit. Ooh, the slow zone. Maybe that's not something that was taken into account. Gotta love it. At this point, though, we are on 3 Tempest. I don't know how many Tempests you need to... I guess it's more than 3. Yeah, it's definitely more than 3. To one-shot like a Disruptor, for example. But you do certainly need quite a few of them. I guess Tempests have a chance to, like, just straight up win the game, too, right? Like, it's kind of funny how they work, but, like, with perfect micro, they really can pick off a lot of these units. Holy Hit now reduced to only, well, 28 supply here in total, which is really nothing to write home about. This army right now is do or die. Fu trying his very best. Needs to clean up these units still, though. And I don't really know exactly where... What are we doing? I was gonna say, where's all the army here of Fu available? It is scattered around the map. Obviously, the win condition in a game of StarCraft 2 is to destroy all of your opponent's structures. And I guess that is what Fu is currently going for. The AI has been doing a good job looking around the map, so I think he's got a fair understanding of how many hidden structures there are. And it turns out, well, there are none. So if you assume here that your opponent doesn't have any hidden structures, going after all of what is actually available is probably the right call. GG gets called indeed, and it's Fu who obtains the victory in this final game for today. But I upload new videos pretty much every day, so I hope to see you once again tomorrow.